Hey everybody, it's Seth coming to you from the middle of nowhere, and today is May 21st, 2018. And you know what that means? Elder Scrolls Online Summerset expansion early access is available, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Summerset Collector's Edition. Last year I did the Morrowind Collector's Edition unboxing and a little bit of a review. Today's just going to be an unboxing of Summerset. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to actually, give my thoughts on the expansion and whether or not you should buy it. But anyway, let us get started. One thing you will notice if you do purchase this expansion is, the physical version that is the box is extremely small. Well, comparatively speaking, it is about 2/3 the size of the Morrowind expansion, which side by side, we'll just kind of move the camera out. So it dwarfs it. You can see that. So I'll place Summerset in front, and you can kind of get an idea of how much, less space you're dealing with, which is a good thing, I would say. Less packaging, less crap taking up your basement if you actually keep these things. So yeah. Also, I think one of the reasons the Morrowind box was so big is because the giant fabricant dude from the Halls of Fabrication trial is just massive as well. But enough about that. Size differences, size and everything. At least that's what my wife tells me. Let's open this sucker up. So opening up the box, we've got a slipcase cover just like the Morrowind expansion. Sealed at both ends. Okay. So I guess we'll go over the box. It's got that whole high elf, summer elf theme of lots of foliage. Stark contrast to Morrowind, which was basically a giant island with a volcano, and the terrain was there to support it. So I haven't actually even touched PTS for Summerset because I really wanted to be surprised. And that, and with the patch notes, the constant changes of PTS, Nature of the Beast, I didn't want to think something was going to be a certain way and then have it completely change. So when I start playing, this is going to be a really cool surprise. Before we dive into this, let's just go over the slipcase cover because it does tell you everything that you get with it. So, Summerset Isle, you are going to get a Mephala statue, which we'll get to in a moment. You'll get a book, Razum-Dar's journal. In contrast, Morrowind, we got Naryu's journal. Razum-Dar and Naryu are probably two of the best characters in the game. I think the next one would be Stibbins and his boss, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but that would be for the Daggerfall Covenant side. So next year, if we get another expansion, I'm probably going to assume it's going to be on the Daggerfall side. You get a map of Summerset. If it's anything like Morrowind's, it'll be paper. I kind of like the idea of cloth as opposed to foldable paper map because you get those creases in paper. You won't get that in a cloth. Collector's Steelbook packaging. On the other side, just more pictures of the same. Shows the map, the book, and the statue up close a little bit. Additionally, you get a bunch of digital goodies. You'll get a Blood Shadow Wraith Steed, a Prosecution outfit style, Divine Prosecution outfit rather. You'll get a Griffin pet if you like pets, a Sigic Scrying Talisman, which is a memento, and a bunch of character emotes. Additionally, if you pre-ordered, you got a bunch of other digital goodies, including a costume, a cinch, which is essentially like a leopard or cat, a giant cat mount. It's basically the nightmare equivalent of, but a cat. So it's flaming. You got a couple other things. I'll post an image so you guys can actually see what you would get if you pre-ordered. I don't know if those goodies are still available. Anyway, this is the slipcase. We'll move on from that. Get to actually what you're here for, or what I'm trying to do, which is show you what's inside the box. That one. Now, when it comes to collector's editions, honestly, MMOs have been the only thing I've ever done collector's editions. I've got the original WoW Classic. I've got, was it 2 or 3 more of the expansions for WoW. I did the Age of Conan collector's edition and the Warhammer Online collectors as well. I don't go in for collectors terribly too often, but those, when I do MMOs, those are usually it. So, unseal the box, it opens, ooh, and the first thing we get is a picture of herself, Mephala. You'll hear her name throughout. She definitely comes up in Glenumbra and Spindle Clutch, the dungeon there. So let's bring this sucker out of the box. That's a pretty cool presentation. Okay, so additionally we have the Steelbook that's slipped right nice and neat in there. So here is Mephala. Make sure you see her. So she's on a pedestal. Doesn't look like, other than her staff, that we have to actually do anything to, or attach anything. So that's cool. I'm going to take the camera out. I'm going to give you guys an up-close view. So I'll just scan up. It's pretty cool. So she's basically a nasty goddess. Can't even remember what the hell they're called. Like Molag Bal. And she is supposed to be the big baddie to conclude the main story arc that started with the core edition of the game, where we face Molag Bal. Next up is just the Steelbook that contains the DVD, as well as your game code, and some little advertisements for Elder Scrolls, for the Crown Store, and then a brief little, instruction manual on how to play the game, just controls and whatnot. Yeah, so without saying too many more times, the Steelbook's pretty simple. Why we would, in this day and age when everything's downloadable, buy this. Again, it's for the collectors. You might want to, some people put the Steelbooks up, so it's nice, onto a bookshelf or whatever to show everything off. This was tucked away in the little Mephala statue. So next up is the map. And as I had mentioned earlier, my fears are affirmed, or confirmed. It is definitely paper. It's smaller. It's than the Morrowind one. It is just, quad folded. It's pretty nice. The writing is in High Elf, so no spoilers for us on the locations of places. So hopefully you can see that a little bit. There you go. But overall, it's nice. It's nothing to write home about. A lot of games will do like a cloth map or something else, a little bit more high quality, I would say. Again, the reason I don't like paper is because they're folded and you get the creases, and it doesn't look as good. Finally, we come to the last piece, and that is Razum-Dar's journal, who apparently, compared to Naryu, gets a much smaller journal. So it's in this nice faux leather cover. So the paper, okay, so it is typed. I remember, with some kind of stylized entries. Remember, the first book that came with the core edition was mostly handwritten type style, so it was actually kind of hard to read. The paper is definitely normal paper, still color images. Make sure you can see. Yep. Okay. And little blank pages for your own notes. So I'm wondering, I bet you, if you read through this, you'll get some tips or hints on maybe on bosses or in the game, or it's just, fun information. To note, though, it is kind of funny, comparatively. Naryu's journal is much bigger. What's going on there, Zenimax? What's going on there? You still get the nice little ribbon for your bookmark, at least. Yeah, they haven't skimped out on that. Alright. But it is much smaller. The cover still feels about the same. I will say, though, that Naryu's journal, it's glossy paper. And again, you can kind of see those stylized, handwritten-esque entries. But overall, this, for the person who loves Elder Scrolls and loves lore, loves the character of Razum-Dar, this, it's a nice addition. So, I guess that's it. That is the unboxing of the Summerset Collector's Edition. I think I'm going to go in-game now. Well, eventually anyway. And I'll see you there. If you ever want to look me up in-game, it's at Sedare, S-E-D-A-R-E. I play Ebonheart Pact almost exclusively. So yeah. Anyway, let me know, guys, what were your thoughts on this collector's edition? What are your preliminary thoughts on the game, the expansion, for those who have early access already? Official release is June 5th, and I guess that's it. I'll see you in Tamriel. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys in game.